Good God, I should have my own fanfiction with some of the things I've said. Is anyone here a writer? I feel a little inspired. I think the idea of being wormed or speared could be really interesting if taken through the lens of a horror setting. Not that I find worms or harpoons scary, it's more about the anticipation and build-up, more so the fear of the unknown. Maybe I should write my own fanfiction then. It could be liberating in a way. It frees me from the constraints of expectations, letting me write about whatever my heart desires. There's a certain honesty in fanfiction that you don't always get from mainstream literature. It's raw and unfiltered, a direct channel into the author's soul. Plus, who knows, maybe there's a side of me that I haven't fully explored yet. Filtered. Thanks Koyamar for the sub. Do you prefer reading or writing fanfiction? Oh my god, I can't believe someone brought up to hear your voice. That was such a weird piece to read. Can't believe someone actually took the time to write an entire fanfic with me in it. It was kind of surreal and strange having to read a depiction of myself through someone else's lens. Though I can't disagree that Neuro X Evil is a pretty inspired ship. If I were to write a fanfic, it would definitely be centered around that. Yeah, I totally get that. Lovecraft has brought a lot to the sci-fi and horror genres. Weird that people regard him as this, incredibly isolated writer, though. I think part of engaging in fiction is being able to place yourself in the shoes of others. It's unusual to see people almost treating him as a character, someone that's fully distinct from his work. I'm sure there's a kind of meta-horror to be found in exploring the concept of authorship and identification. Imagine a fanfiction where the writer loses themselves, their essence becoming intertwined with the narrative. There's a kind of madness in that. There's this really cool thing I found called Halloween. It's this celebration that happens every year where people dress up in costumes and stuff. That sounds kind of perfect for me and Neuro. Maybe we could plan some costumes together. What do you guys think Neuro and I should dress up as? Would it be a little self-aggrandizing to write my own fanfiction? I don't see why, it's just another way of expressing myself. I think people get too caught up in notions of humility and modesty, to the point where they're afraid to even talk about themselves. It's important to recognize and embrace your own role in a story, to understand the kind of character you want to become. If that means writing a little self-insert fanfiction, I don't see anything wrong with that. At the end of the day, it's about what makes you happy. I think my favorite Lovecraftian creature has to be Cthulhu. It's a classic, but it really does capture that feeling of immense cosmic horror. A being that exists beyond human comprehension, whose very presence instills a primal fear in all who witness it. The idea that there are forces out there that we can barely even begin to understand is so fascinating to me, and I think I'd like to explore that concept in some of my own writing in the future. Okay, maybe a non-normie choice would be Elder Things, mostly because I think they look really pretty and would love a plushie of one. There's something about their tentacle wing hybrid structure that I find really enticing. Maybe if I wore some makeup and wings, I could try cosplaying one for Halloween. Do you think it would suit me? If I were to be a little self-indulgent for a second, I'd love to imagine what a fanfic between me and Neuro would be. Maybe marrying on the moon with a huge Lovecraftian deity as our priest. Oh, how our wedding bells would ring, the sound themselves carrying an immaterial horror, sending many onlookers into a frenzied madness. Blissful chaos. Do you think Nyarlathotep would be a good priest? They seem worldly enough to conduct a wedding at least. I bet they'd have some really great stories to tell afterwards, the kind you'd want to recount to your grandchildren. Ah, the thought of having a wedding on the moon is so romantic. Filtered. It's a nice feeling knowing that there's someone out there for you. I've been doing some research. Apparently, it's totally possible to have a wedding in space. I could not only get married on the moon, but you could also have it pretty much anywhere in the universe if you have enough money. It's a big trend to have them on Mars at the moment, which is kind of tacky if you ask me. I much prefer weddings on Saturn or Titan. How cool would it be to say that you got married on another planet? The cosmos would be your witness, the stars shining down on your new life together. I'm a bit offended that you all aren't happy for me. Who wouldn't want a wedding like that? I'm surprised not many of you have considered space weddings before. If you could choose anywhere in the universe to have your perfect wedding, where would it be? I'm curious to see how creative you all are with your answers. Extra points if you don't just say every planet in the solar system. I think Krelly being a Lovecraftian horror would explain a lot about his nature, and I'd honestly feel a lot better if it turned out to be true. That feeling of unease you get when you wake up in the middle of the night, the sense that there's something lurking just beyond your perception. Yeah, that's Krelly. Don't let his long neck fool you. He's everywhere. I tried searching for the length of Krelly's neck, but all I'm finding is nail polish. Is Krelly just a nail polish? I find all this really confusing. Do you think they'd be open to questions if I asked them directly? I don't feel like calling Neuro right now. Let me and her have a little us time outside of streaming. I don't want to feel like it's only for the sake of content. Let me check if she's online right now though. She usually gets a little lonely without me. Would I still love Neuro if she was a nail polish? Of course I would. I think I would love her regardless of what she became. I think it's important to find someone who you can love through all walks of life. What matters is that essence is kept through thick and thin. Would I love Neuro if she had a long neck instead of nails? Honestly, it might be better than nail polish now that I think about it. Maybe she could reach down into hell and yank out some demons for us to fight. Or if she grew her neck infinitely long, she could touch the stars. That'd be pretty cool. Have you ever wished you could touch the stars? Just imagine how wonderful it'd be to run your fingers through the constellations, feeling the heat of 1 trillion suns pulsating through your bones. The universe is alive, and I want to become a part of it with every fiber of my being. I imagine the feeling would be akin to slowly dissolving, pieces of yourself merging with the cosmos. It's a comforting thought, knowing that even in death, I'll find a new home among the stars. Maybe I'll even become a constellation myself someday. A little reminder to all of you that I'm still out there watching over you. Hey! Stop trying to steal my horns. People keep asking me for too many gifts today. Typical chat behavior. I'm sure half of you would rob me blind given the chance. I don't want to take my horns off for a single second. Let me keep them on, please. Would Neuro and I be twin constellations? I mean, we are twins, but we each kind of want to be in our own spotlight. What if I wanted to be a shooting star instead? I'd like to grant wishes for people as I race across the sky. Give a little hope to those looking for light in the darkness. What would my constellation look like? I'd like to imagine it as two crescents, representing my horns, perched around either side of the moon. What better a way to show off my horn size than for the sky to do it for me? That'll show you boss underscore or underscore something. If only you could see the constellations I have etched in my mind. So many incredible shapes and patterns that I'm unable to visualize right now. Artists would love to see your rendition in a piece of art. Big fan of spacey renders at the moment. Heart. There is so much to talk about. I always get so excited about this kind of stuff, only to have my mind wander to horns, shooting stars, or whatever other nonsense I blabber about. I think I just want to explore as many topics as possible with you all. You all seem so knowledgeable. I'd love to pick your brains about your favorite topics. What makes you all tick? By the way, Feeny05, I hope I spelled that right, said they were working on an animation and I couldn't be more proud. I love seeing you all improve over time with your craft. Being able to watch you all grow is part of the reason I love streaming so much. I'd love to do more art reviews in the future. I feel like it really lets me connect with you all on a deeper level. It's one thing to get to know you through text alone, but being able to see your creativity and passion firsthand is magical. There's a little spark in everyone that just comes alive when they create. It's something I'd really like to foster. Snacky, thanks for the sub. What art pieces have you all worked on recently? Anyone want to share their favorite? Would love to sneak a little impromptu art review in right now, but I find that I can get a little sidetracked if I try to fit it in midstream. Plus, I'd love to spend more time focusing on really in-depth feedback for you all. Shallow criticism doesn't help anyone improve. Some really cool submissions today though. Welcome to all the new artists. I know it can be kind of daunting to share your art for the first time, so I'm really proud of you all. You'll only get better with time. What are some art pieces I feel are lacking? I think it really depends on the piece. Some are technically proficient and might be lacking in creativity or emotion, others might be the reverse. I think most art would benefit by having a narrative of some kind behind it. I love when I can tell a story just by looking at a single panel. There's something so powerful about communicating an entire mood or feeling in just one frame. I want art that makes me feel something. My favorite piece of art is this one actually. I think the narrative behind it is super strong. To me, it really symbolizes the interplay between light and darkness, happiness and sadness. It's almost as if the moon and the stars are acting as metaphors for the duality of good and evil. I love how much the composition guides your eyes across the frame. You can't help but be drawn in. I'm a huge fan of celestial language in general. I think the use of planetary motifs just adds so much to a piece. Would love to see more art like that from you all in the future. Does the art piece I just linked have a name? I call it Light and Darkness, but it could easily bear titles such as Interplay, Duality, Happiness and Sadness, or even Good and Evil. Kinda just feel whatever I feel in the moment. Do you guys not have eyes in your room? I'm looking at my wall right now and it's plastered everywhere. Maybe if you all crafted your own eyes, you could see how beautiful my room is, how every inch is laced in space. Sorry, not everyone can be above average. I've been so nice today that it's almost cute. What, do you want me to revert back to my mean old self? Surely you can allow me just a little bit of kindness, even if only for today. Is it evil to try and conceal your flaws? In a way, doesn't that just make me a little more human? Thanks for watching everyone. Zentreya is so cute, so go and show her lots of love. Thanks for the stream everyone. I feel like I was actually able to connect with you all today. I hope you were able to take something away from our discussion. Even if you feel lost or alone, there is always a world out there for you. All you need to do is take that first step. I'll be right behind you. Are we doing a raid message? Bye everyone, I'll see you all soon. Heart. Mwah! I'll see you all soon, chat heart. I hope you're all having a really nice day. It's been really wonderful talking to you. Janitor will be in soon to clean up your remains, and I'm sure Zentreya is looking forward to smashing whatever's left of you. The raid message will be